Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Legion 99 podcast, your source for the latest tactics, news, battle reports, hobby talk, and general Legion chatter. All right, welcome, everybody, to another episode of Legion 99. It's me and Keegan, and we are joined by our friend from the 5th Trooper, Evan Bulriss. You may know him from
how's it going?
Like 8 other podcasts this week on the 5th Trooper Network.
Hey, he's not getting the perfect week. This is only his 6th appearance this week.
No,
that's true.
So,
I didn't make the full Nut on After Dark. So if you're sick of me, listen to that. Patreon, listen to that.
This is a special episode because we are actually we are after our announcement last week, we're with 5th Trooper now and coming out and on video and on YouTube and all that fun stuff. So we are making this season 2, episode 1.
Yeah,
and that's going to be our new launching and branding on that. It also has the bonus advantage of our season 1 consisted of 69 episodes of Legion 99. So
nice.
Yeah. You're welcome. We planned that. All been in the works for a long time. That delays our episode 100 by like years.
Let me tell you,
years.
It doesn't matter.
No,
it's like the 100's just the number 1 and then the last one. Those are the two you really gotta.
We'll hit the button again at 69, and it'll be season 3.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
Yeah, or we go really long and we get to 169.
Ooh, okay.
But now I'm just stealing. I listen to a D&D live play podcast that's very funny called Dungeons and Daddies, and they do that. Their season 1, their season 1 was 6. In fact, their finale of season 1 they did in 2 parts, so that it would be episode 69, episode 1, and 69, episode 2 or point 2. So.
Nice.
Anyways, here we are again.
Real quick, housekeeping, so to speak, as they like to call it.
I was hoping we wouldn't use that phrase.
We don't have to use that. What can we call it? Hey, so if you guys didn't listen to the last episode, we are now a part of the 5th Trooper Network. So 5th Trooper Network has a Patreon. You should consider donating to our Patreon to help support all of the people who make content, not just us here, but Evan, of course, and all the other guys at Scoundrels and all the blog writers and everybody who does stuff behind the scenes. So consider joining the Patreon. We've got a cool Discord server that you can come in and talk to us, get on the bleeding edge of discussion.
I also we worked it out with Jay. If you come in, and this is for existing patrons too, if you come in at the $10 level, there's going to be an exclusive 6-up discount. That's more than you can always use your Legion 99 code. That still is good. People probably forgot about that, but for 10% off anytime, just discount code Legion 99 on checkout at 6-up supply. But we're going to be offering a 15% discount exclusive to $10 and up patrons
pretty cool.
at the 5th Trooper.
Right,
so.
Right. I need to finish off the tokens that I got half of.
That's right.
Met at the because your store is very convenient. You're like, you may have gotten this pack of tokens at some event. Well, you can finish it with this pack of tokens. So I'm on the. It's very. You know what? I'll give you points for marketing. Very good.
Yeah, I'm inspired by the free cigarettes model to children. So that's
works pretty good. Yeah. Hey, if it works, it works.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
But sign up. We had fun last week with pretending to be dragged into this, but we are excited to be with the 5th Trooper, and absolutely the Patreon is a great way to support us and plenty of the rest of the community as we continue to grow this out. This is also going to go towards helping Nick know his wonderful table and tournament stuff and all sorts of things.
Oh man, I just finished a table a couple days ago. Oh, so good. So I can't wait to get it out there.
So to jump into something,
yes, let's do it.
Did you hear my 2D terrain rant?
I did. God. I wasn't offended.
Okay, actually, you're the one like. So,
well, is that why you went along each podcast, like saying how great Nick is at making terrain this week?
Yeah, Nick's really good, guys. You should really keep
it doesn't. No, it's really interesting. I mean, the 2D area terrain, like that, definitely is something to like. I've seen people cut up like the mouse pad mats, like the old neoprene mats, cut it up because like I guess like other games have, like you said, Room War specifically. I actually owned Rune Wars for a couple of months until they announced Legion, and then I sold it. But yeah, so like the 2D area terrain especially is interesting because like their area terrain is kind of hard to implement in a lot of games, and it's like it's a little bit more work than just 3D printing like a building. Like so like, you know, there are a lot of options. Like 6UP obviously sells those great area terrain bases. Imperial Terrain just released like their own STLs, and it's got like a nice set, and it's some really cool stuff he's working on for future updates of that, because I've been talking to John a lot about that. But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I thought. Did I just see he's got some? Were you just saying about his new area terrain with like the modular, like the circles to remove?
Well, yeah, that's a sneak preview.
Oh,
Shh. But anyway, yeah. So I really like the idea of like the 2D area terrain, but like it's really like one of the things I've noticed. Like my LGS will be playing a game, and like everybody walks by and they stop and they're like, "Oh man, is that a Star Wars building?" And then they're like, "Oh, is that the Mandalorians from season 7 of Clone Wars?" No, they don't usually say that, but you know, something draws them to the table. Ow. And if it's not an ATST or like a red lightsaber, it's like the terrain. So like 2D terrain, I get it. It probably works. It'll probably feel a lot like playing TTS in person. So like, but I could see it being implemented in some ways, but like I for sure don't want to play on 2D terrain most of the time.
You see, you took a take I wasn't expecting. The take I was hoping you'd get away from is, yeah, I don't have to bring a truck full of 32 tables.
No, that's the fun
and then
part.
Drive for 13 hours.
That's the fun part. Like, I panhandle for a while, begging for money for this U-Haul that I need, and then like, you know, somebody eventually, some suckers like, oh, here's some money to. We got the guy from Du Bois to reimburse me for the truck and everything, but it's like, no, I mean, yeah, I get that. I don't know, but I don't know the draw for a tournament. It's going to be a lot harder. It's like I find it like it's a lot easier to draw people into my tournaments because they know they're playing on like some super awesome terrain that they don't normally get to play on for most of them. And also because who doesn't like to see my beautiful face all the time? Now you get to see it every 2 weeks. Everybody, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean,
I heard your rant on, I think it was Scoundrels. Was that rant Prime?
Oh man, Kyle just shot me down immediately. He's like, it's dumb and lame. I'm like, okay, moving on. All right.
Yeah.
Who said it was dumb and lame? I don't remember.
Oh, Kyle just like blasted me like right for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to you guys talking about it on Fifth Trooper when you first brought it up.
All right. I had at least a couple diagrams up.
Yeah, and I like it didn't offend me.
So this has been a progression of a rollout. Yeah. I don't think we need to, especially considering it's been all over the other 5 shows you've been on this week. I think my thoughts. I listened to it. I appreciate the creativity and the thoughtfulness you put into it, and I generally agree with Kyle. So.
That's fair. So to save going over it again, it's more of like a lot of people get to go to the events, they walk in, play the games, and leave, and that's all they have to do, and they don't really see the front and back end of it. Like, man, if when I got asked to run the boys, I called Nick, and if he said no, I can't, I would have said I can't run the boys.
Yeah,
it's not even. It's not even. Yeah, it would just be like, nah,
you didn't know another guy with like 20 tables of terrain.
Yeah, like I am very fortunate that there's a non-0% that Nick has a parasite in his brain just making him make terrain at the highest level and driving it everywhere. Like, I'm not saying that's the reason, but like non-zero, that's all I'm saying.
No, driving it everywhere sucks, but it's like, you know, the smile on everyone's faces. I do it for everybody else.
What? I didn't account for that in my shower thoughts.
It's totally selfless. Like, I totally don't get off on the fact that like like Evan's running around on 5 podcasts talking about how great I am at making
terrain. Yeah.
No, it's okay, guys. That's fine. We can move on. I just wanted to out of everybody's thoughts, who I was.
It doesn't offend me.
Oh, people you actually respect. You wanted to get ours for the end of the week.
Yeah. It's like, because to me, it's like, well, I get that, like, it's not ideal, but with the current LOS system, I'm like, well, if they don't change it,
it's basically I know.
Let's just steer into it. just to see. Let's take a thought experiment, just steer in. And like I started, so first I was doing it just to be contrarian and to make content. I'm like, well, I'll just make this up, and then
make up my own Star Wars Legion rules.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, people won't fight me on it, and like that's fine. Like it's okay. I don't really, my heart's not in it, and eventually it's a battle I'm willing to lose. Where I'm just like, yeah, well, I was just kind of talking. But when I started like thinking about it more, I started making little trains. I started like making little sub rules for it because I'm like, whoa, man, this works a little bit too good. It's like, climbing now, right? You just put the 1 down, and then you move your guy at 1 speed, and you move your guy up. That's really not accurate. Like, if you want to get to, like, sticks and stones a little bit, but a 2D spot, you just put the 1 down, and he moves up to the height 1 building, and it's, like, kind of perfect. Like, it kind of, like, there's no wiggle room there. And again, this wasn't for, like, to make a TTS. It was actually, my first thought was ease of travel, and then price of doing it was like you could buy
terrain is
like
expensive,
$30 or something, and you'd still want to play on Nick's table or a well-made table, but this is like, hey, me and my friends are getting into it. Instead of using soup cans and books, we could have like an Imperial bunker and a tower and a fence. You know, I don't know, just like just something. But
it's kind of like a different way of using your imagination as you would for like the soup cans and the textbooks and stuff like that people use. It's like using your imagination differently. I totally get it, and I love the creativity. But it's
all right. I actually got like positive comments.
You did.
I was really running just to get blasted. Like
didn't it start in like competitive chat and TLD? Didn't like it? You start?
I said train's the worst part of Legion, kind of just to be like a
contrarian.
I was just then like
the target
because competitive chat and TLD hadn't been an active dumpster fire in a while, and you wanted to light a match.
That's right. That's what we're here for.
Then like I'm like 3D train's a mistake, just to really like.
Evan walks into TLD and says, "You know what? These admins aren't working that hard."
This whole thing not working for me.
Yeah. If TLD admins have time to make a podcast, that means that there's not enough going on that they need to monitor. So
you got time to clean. All right, man. That's how it is. But no, I haven't really put any more thought into it than that, and I've gotten some good feedback. Again, this is just like I've got like, so my dream is back here. I'll have a vision board of every idea that I have.
Yeah.
I've got like a Western miniature game I wanted to make. I've got a space miniature game I wanted to make. I've got like everything else I want to do. And that's just like, if like through my core of my ideas, it's just way off in the corner. Like I just threw like like one of those sticky hands and just whipped it in the corner just to, maybe someday when I'm like retired, I'll have time to like, what about that 2D train for that game no one's heard about?
We'll definitely still be playing Legion in 30 years, right?
Yeah, sure.
Someone will.
That's true.
Someone will. You're right. You're right about that.
Speaking of making it easier to set up events, we've got some events to talk about, right, Nick?
Oh yeah, baby. The big one. Well, a big one. They put the Lone Star Open tickets on sale the last week or the week before. Our buddy Zane is the TO. He's going to do a great job. It's an FLG event.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's an FLG event, so they've got good terrain. I've heard LSO is one of the best ones out there. Keegan was there last year.
Yeah, I went there last year, and it's a I can tell you it's a great event because it all the like my closer Legion friends who were supposed to go bailed in the last week before I went there, and that Friday was my birthday, and I still had a great time. Even with that disappointment. So those guys, they put on a great show down there. It's a great venue for it. It's all in, it's Dallas in July, so it's really nice that it's all in one building. You can stay in the hotel, you can stay in the air conditioning, and go to the convention center, and it's a good setup. They also do a nice kind of FLG ramps up the military and veteran appreciation kind of stuff. So they've got like service competitions. So it's when you register, if you're a veteran or in a military branch, you sign up and which one and you align with, and they do these extra points and competition.
That's really
so
cool.
It's a good show, and Zane and I know Patrick's helping him, and there's a whole crew. I'm somehow in the planning server, but they're.
You know why you're in the planning server. Come on.
I do. Yeah. No, check it out if you can make that happen. It's the weekend. I think it's weekend. What, July 22nd, something like that.
Yeah, it's like the third weekend in July, I believe.
Yeah,
or maybe the fourth. I don't remember. It's
been on my radar, but there's like
it's
I
on
told
my
myself
radar.
I was gonna chill a little bit this year because there's ACO, which I kind of like talked myself into. Then there's Gen Con and Nova, which are like the same month.
Yeah,
and then after that's PAX, and that's like those trips. Like, I mean, real talk with flight, hotel room.
Oh yeah,
for
no, this
food,
is
you're easy $1.5 grand, right?
Yeah.
Like for
yeah.
long term. So it's like, luckily I'm single income, no kids, so I've got like, tomorrow I might follow a duck around and see where it takes me. Like my life is like free and open. I say that I got to learn like Aruba switches in German and like whatever else I got to do, but like I could go. Just, man, the amount of stuff to do and like just burns you out. Like there's a lot,
It's on my radar, LSO. It's like, it's not really a great chance I'm gonna get to go because getting time off during the summer is hard, and like all the request offs are already in, so we'll see what comes up and flight prices and everything. But that one's gonna be awesome. Before that, in June, we have the Big D or something like that, right? Isn't that what it's called in Dallas?
Yeah, I got
we're
I called that one out too.
We're just going into the explicit rating on a podcast for this episode.
Baby. We're still PG, baby. We're still.
I mean, we always had it in there just as a backup, but it's there. Okay, so the Big D in Dallas.
Yeah.
When is that?
In Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yep. It's I believe it's the weekend before Atlantic City Open, so it's like the June 10th or something like that. Let me see if I can find it again. They're everywhere. I had them organized, or I had an idea for organizing them, and then guess what? Nick did a really bad job of keeping up with it.
So if you want to go to ACO and you can go to that one, that's good practice for ACO, or just get double 2 weekends of Legion in if you got the time.
Yeah. And while he's pulling that up to confirm, we also got word up in Calgary. The Canadians are doing something. The Stampede City Open is going to be on June 10th and 11th. And this one's going to have Legion Armada, MCP, and X-Wing. It's one of those big gala events. Tickets are currently on sale. They got a event page on Facebook. And no regional kits confirmed yet. They're still waiting for the next phase of the OP, but they're trying.
Yeah.
And they're promising like an event capacity of 200 people, and that'll be balanced across all the games. So it's kind of like no cap. So the more people who sign up for Legion, I know Bronson Zeus Juice is going to that one. He's involved somehow, and a few other folks are heading up there. Matt's been on Turn Zero lists, of course, and is well known as a top player and just a really great guy too. So if you are in the vicinity of Calgary that weekend or want to be, that's a thing for you to check out. Nick, did you find those dates on Dallas?
I did.
The Big D?
I did. Man, it would help if I clicked on the link, though, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. I mean, things are difficult. I'm not that good.
Change these days, huh?
Yeah. So, the Big D Showdown. It is June 3rd through the 4th, so it's the first weekend in June. It's at the Plano Event Center in Plano, Texas. Free parking. That's great if you're just like driving up for the day. There is a link to register on Game Uplink. There's a player packet. It's pinned. It's in the Legion Discord in the upcoming events channel. But it's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Looks like 6 rounds Swiss total. So that's pretty great. They've got they're hoping for a real big turnout for that. So
Plano's a nice area too. I spent some time there. We've got an office down there.
It's nice. They got a lot of prizes coming in. But there's an Eventbrite link for tickets, tourney document, and the Game Uplink page. They have 14 of 48 signed up currently. So
is that sad that free parking's like
that's
big to advertise now?
Great.
No, it is great. But like, what I'm saying is, isn't it sad that that's like that's like a bonus to going to one of these events now?
I almost had to beat down FLG staff to get free parking at Atlantic City Open last year.
Oh, I remember.
Almost had to beat someone up. I had Ryan back me up.
I guess one more I'd like to mention, since we're going backward, we're just doing
going
reverse
just
chronological
everywhere.
order. No, I think we're doing it in the right order because it's just backwards right now. So
Yeah.
tickets are still available for the Bay Area Open,
Yes.
FLG's. That's Memorial Day weekend, right? Yeah, just outside of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Great event there. I've been a couple of years running, and I'll of course be there again and staying up there. This is running at the same time as a convention called KublaCon. It is separate this year from KublaCon. The whole Bay Area Open is a separate thing. Although I got an email as a registered member of the Bay Area Open that they figured out a reciprocal thing. So if you want to come out and do some Legion and see a bunch of other crazy KublaCon stuff,
what is KublaCon?
It's a long running game convention in this area. It's a game convention for best as I've seen.
Okay. I was just wondering.
They've got some cool like thematic stuff. Like they've got this. I think they have a whole thing where there's like a kids kids can be part of this like kids group that go around, and because every so often periodically throughout the day, this huge dude dressed in Genghis Khan attire comes marching in, trailing a cadre of children, and booming voices of all hail great Kubla or something like that, and you're supposed
really
to give these coins out to the kids. It's a fun thing.
That's cool.
I think it's a fun thing. I haven't looked too deeply into it, so I hope it's a fun thing.
I love a bit, man. I love a good bit.
Yeah. But we'll be in I think it's the Marriott is where Bay Area Open and the FLG events are going to be. And that's a good one. Memorial Day weekend. I'll be up there, and a lot of our locals out here will be up there.
There's so much Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
There's
we don't need to talk about any of the others.
We did already.
Yeah, and they're sold out.
All of it. Well,
I thought.
I don't think Ironweld's sold out, but I hope it is.
Oh, Ironweld, yeah. Go to Boston. If you're not coming to San Francisco, go to Boston.
Yeah. So events that we did it.
We did it. News?
Yeah, news. Not much. Still no Ewok pre-orders. Still no Ewok information.
Ahsoka pre-order worked. I got my Ahsoka pre-order in.
Yeah, well, Cody's out officially.
Cody's out.
I have a bunch of assembled Codys on my desk back there.
I have one unassembled Cody now on top of that pile behind me. So.
It's just
a bunch of assembled Codys, like more than one Cody.
More than one Cody.
You know who you're talking to.
Yeah, okay,
I'm running a Cody army, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a clone.
I mean, okay.
Isn't that in the rules? You can run more than one of the same clone trooper.
They are
because
clones,
they are clones.
I know? Yeah.
I think that should be a rule. We should advocate for that rule change. Like we can have a couple echoes in our army if we want, like 2 or 3 echoes at least.
One of them is for the homebrew cast.
I don't know. It didn't. One of them is for Mike. I paint Mike stuff usually.
All right.
One of them is for Mike.
Fair.
So there are precisely 2 Codys on my desk assembled.
Okay, that's a much more reasonable number.
An equal number of Waxer and Boils as well.
What I think, like the way you made it sound, you had like 5, and I'm like, what do you?
A bunch of Codys.
what
8 Codys. I found out they all have ARF Trooper helmets in them, so I bought 20 Codys so I could convert all my clones to ARF Troopers. That's what I did.
Okay, right. That's cool.
No. It is cool. I didn't do it though.
Yeah.
It's like a legitimately good release. Like there's some releases that come out and just kind of hit the shelf pretty hard, but Cody's like you can do
he's gonna
tank, you can do Cody Obi.
I was just talking about like I was looking at like ISP. Cody ISP, Cody Anakin ISP. Cody Anakin, because like he's got a built-in portable scanner. Like it's not bad.
Yeah.
Like that's not bad with Anakin because like you can just feed him a dodge, and Anakin likes that dodge. Right here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It's better than Cody having a dodge to give like to somebody else or to share because he can only share one. So
100%. Yeah. No, I think that makes a ton of sense. I think when I've thought about the Anakin Cody combination, I worry because, and especially Anakin Cody ISP, that's a lot of units that are hungry for fire support.
Yeah.
And
you can't take Clone Commander.
Right. And Anakin's, you can get around that with get 5 in there, comms relay on the ISP, and you can do a lot of fun stuff with I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out. I worry about getting the orders out there to get that.
Oh yeah. I think for me, like, it was more like Cody, Anakin, ISP just seems like, in theory, just like something fun to put on the table and an excuse for me to get out my clones that I never ever play. Like,
yeah. Well, I also love what you said about using Cody less as the fire support, like deprioritizing using his fire support and using him to kind of supercharge Anakin and also be kind of a badass in his own other ways. So
yeah,
man,
I mean,
So do clones have to take Anakin now? Like, is that something you just have to stay?
No, they can take Yoda.
Yeah. But like to those two heroes, like, is that like you have to start with one of those two now?
So I think the problem is that like in the history of this game, like, Force users are really good.
Yeah,
and this is a faction where like the Force users have like extra abilities beyond just like Luke. Like, we, rebels are basically have Luke Skywalker, who is very good because he has very good command cards and like he's got solid stats. But like Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan, and like we don't see much Obi-Wan, but they have like the additional abilities that like really buff an already strong core army. Like, Yoda can just like get away with so much stuff. He's just so many points and he's only 5 health. So it's like kind of like that Mando problem where like if you run it, like Mandos have really good saves, but like there's a blank on every die and their like health is a lot more valuable than you think. But I just feel like Yoda and Anakin are like so perfect. Like, they just do so much for the army. And like you saw Anakin mostly with saber throw up until recently, and now it's like you see him with barrier, and people are like, "Oh my god, this is really good." So I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, I think it's a symptom of like everybody else has some kind of like close range or melee threat, and you need to have your own. And why not just make it a Force user that also like can like buff your army?
Yeah,
I was hoping Cody would bring in the. I mean, he's not even technically out yet, so maybe he does.
He is.
I will. Yeah, I mean,
we don't have a lot of
data. Play data yet.
Yeah.
Just like the no Jedi clone list that's good. That's not like a gimmick, right? Like, it's Cody, tank, and then some clones, and you bring that down, and
tank's so expensive.
It may not be like A+, but it might be like B+. And like, hey, Cody, tank, clones, tank and snorter, like targeting ray, fires every turn. I got R2D2 maybe. Like, you can like make a list that doesn't feel like, because in the past it felt like if you didn't take like Anakin, Padme, or Yoda or Chewie, it felt like you had a gimmick, and the gimmick was tank shoots a few times because of standby sharing or whatever, or I shoot like Rex Star, right? It was like a gimmick of like, your opponent doesn't get to play. And so I was really hoping I'd see like the rise of like, I don't want to use the term honest, but like an honest clone list is just clones and just like a cool tank, and you could feel like you're playing like a scene from the movie where like one of the Jedi wasn't there, just for a change, because as soon as you said Cody, Anakin, Cody, I'm like, yeah, that's just better than Anakin Obi-Wan, I think. Like, Cody Obi-Wan, because he's just so good.
Yep.
Maybe there's a Rex Cody list out there that can get all the clones.
I tried. I haven't been here.
Okay. Nope.
Yeah, the problem is the worst part is Rex isn't a clone commander,
right?
And that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Maybe like, look, I would love to be wrong. I'd love to go to ACO and just get like tabled by a Cody Rex and just be like very content. I'm like, cool, my future has arrived. I'm okay with this. But yeah, it's just like Anakin's just so darn good, huh? He's just like exemplar is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, he's good.
Cool. Yeah, I can't wait to play him. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Get him on the table.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get him on the table. I assume I'm gonna have him painted up by Thursday night when I go out to play. So
nice.
Because like I've been experimenting with like Mandos in Shadow Collective, and it hasn't been going real great for me.
I did get some new vials of the Martian Iron Crust I use for all my clone bases, and I got some. I don't have access to my airbrush right now, but I did get some rattle cans of gray and white so that I can finally maybe chip through that, and it's specifically for getting Cody. So I'll try not to keep disappointing you, Nick, on just building the
I
file
mean,
back there.
if you don't have an airbrush, what are you going to do? Like, how do you even live?
I don't know. I clearly haven't.
Yeah, me neither, man. Miserable, just misery.
Yeah.
I love my airbrush so much.
What's funny is like it's too cold up here, so it was snowing Tuesday, and then so the Sunday before it was 80, and then it was snowing Tuesday. So 80 was like too hot to spray when I got home, and then 80 and humid. Then Tuesday was snowing, so I couldn't do it either. I live in I feel like there's like a Cobra Commander type villain with a weather changing wand. He's just whipping it around up here. Airbrush is just sounding better and better every day. Like set up a little box in the basement and just get it done.
They're wonderful. I highly support them.
So. But yeah.
Cool.
So we did go ahead.
Oh, I was going to take a little quick pause for one of our new short segments. I'm going to flip the order on the list. Oh, did you want to talk about the OP stuff first?
I don't care. We can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can talk about OP. I'll bring the mood up after that.
I mean, it's not like I'm like miserable about this, but I'm genuinely slightly unhappy with what they put in this box. But so
go over it then. Yeah, we can.
So the OP kits came out. Your store may have them already. If they don't, you should have them order it because if you're capable of supporting a 16-player Legion tournament, then your store is eligible to run a store championship.
If I'm getting really fancy in post production, I'm going to be rotating some of the pictures of the unboxings that we saw up here. It'll be
like here or there or everywhere.
I'm not sure.
I don't know how this works.
I'll decide who. I don't either. I haven't decided yet.
So I got to my store, got theirs in, and I got to open up one of the kits on game night just to I was like, hey, let me take a peek. They actually they escorted me to like a secure room. They locked the door. So I had chaperones. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't like that at all.
Man, these kits are getting pretty intense. Jeez.
They were like, make sure he doesn't take anything. I'm like, I'm not take anything. So basically it's set up to run like up to 32 players. There are prizes for participation, top 8, I believe top 4 and top 2. And then there's a few trinkets for the judge or EO or consulars or whatever. So I believe participation, everybody gets like a key position card, and I'm not really sure how different it is because it doesn't have any art on it or anything. It obviously has an errata, and it has like a little symbol in it that says like, I forget. I think it says like top 32 or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's got the badges on there, so who's which is cool. I actually like that.
Yeah, and then top 16 gets a limited visibility card that has alternate art on it instead of the normal picture. It's got a picture of the snow troopers from Environmental Gear. And I believe top 16 also gets a Pike card, Pike Syndicate Foot Soldier card, which is it's like the full art from the picture from the little window image. Most of these are that. Some of them are that. It's pretty cool. The one side has like all of the stats and the other side has less stats and more art. It reminds me a lot of the full-size tarot cards we got at Worlds for participation, like that style. They're just normal card size, which is good. And then everybody in top 8 gets an alternate art Operative Vader, General Grievous, Yoda, Gar Saxon, and Rebel Chewbacca.
Everybody gets those. Okay.
Top 8 gets them. Yes.
I didn't know if that was like best in faction or whatever.
3 of those 5, 2 of those cards have typos or errors on them. Gar Saxon's pistol says 1 to 3. Chewie is rolling a red defense die.
Finally, it's about time he got that.
That needed buff. Also, the winner, the top 2 get a set of 3 red attack dice. They are like marbled. I actually I got to see it in person. It's they're a little bit darker and they have like a marble effect that you
Okay,
can't really
I'm
see
cool with
unless
that.
you're right there. It's
Yeah.
neat. I wish it was like a black dye or something because we already have red and white dye. But
Or a legible white die.
Yeah,
fair, but I
would have taken marbled white.
Yeah.
I make everyone I play with suffer through my white dice. I don't
Oh,
care. I make
They're an
them
official
suffer.
die, but I
They
hate them.
are.
Oh
Yeah.
man, do I hate them?
It's an official die. I will use it.
I've got a bunch of them because I'm a collecting dice
Sure,
goblin
yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
But I don't. But I like had them in there for one game night into my mix, and then I just took them out. I put the white die back in.
Dude, people are like, "Oh, those are horrible." I'm like, "I don't care. I have them. I'm going to use them."
Yeah.
Mine.
So the red die, it's pretty cool. The winner gets this awesome metallic or foil Boba Fett card. It's like this is an art I don't think this art's like from any of our stuff. It's like the sail barges in the back, and it's like he's obviously pointing his gun at Han or something like that. It's pretty cool, except it has a speed 2 instead of a speed 3. So that's sad time. That's disappointing. I joked around that I'll just like take it and I'll just like do like red crayon.
A marker. Yeah.
Fix it. Someone will. Because metallic red paint exists. Someone will figure it out and I'll applaud them for such. But that's got like a cool little like 1 trophy on it, like, because it's for the winner. And then this is where I get disappointed, truly.
Here we go.
For the staff. And it's like in the Galactic Conquest rules, they encourage you, if you have a larger tournament, to like find more people to help you staff. For staff, they have allotted a single a set of the red dice, which is nice.
Okay.
And then a single, I believe, key position card. And then
push.
And a push. There's a special alt art push only for the judge, which is cool, but also it's push. Like, I don't know when I used push in a hand except for like a learning game. Like, it's been years. Like, it's weird. It's cool. That's cool. But like, would it have been a lot of effort for you to include a copy of the Vader, Grievous, Yoda, Chewie, Saxon, Pike card for the judges?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So like if I have one of my friends has already volunteered to help me judge ours, because like we're likely going to pull at least 20 people. I was pulling 20 people at a store that could only fit 20 people. Like I'm going to easily be able to pull a lot of people as long as we pick a good date. But like how should we cut the push card in half?
Oh, because they give you one.
They give you one. It's like if they gave me a full set of like the 6 cards, like we can just split it up. However, he only plays Rebels, so I give him the Chewie, the Pike, and then the Grievous for his wife because she plays droids. But it's like I think that feels really bad. The only saving grace here is that each of these kits, it's the Force push model. So basically, there is 4 sets of these cards in this kit. The other 3 are just in different languages. And like, I don't know of anybody who, like, and it's like, so I'm going to give all that away. Anybody who stuck around through 3 rounds is going to walk away with some of those cards. They're just not going to be able to read them probably.
That's kind of a cool
it doesn't matter
to have like
I like.
There's 4 of those metallic Bobas.
Yeah,
like there's 3 of them are in different languages. So that's cool. Awesome. So it makes up for it. But genuinely, like, I think that like, I don't know. I just feel like
I feel you. So I understand the frustration. And if you look at like because you don't get to play. Like the big thing is you don't get to play and you don't get a chance to win. Like that's
right.
But so take a look at like Onslaught. Their kit they just announced. Like the guy who's running it there's like 4 of this new turtle model guy, and there's a bunch of loot goblins and something else you get. Whoever's running that gets a set of those. That's like you get the prizes, and that's you just play. You watch people play. I was kind of hoping it would be more like that, but so it's tough because it's like you do get the dice, which are like really the
and I don't know how many are supposed to come in the kit. I was under the impression before it was 9, but the kit I opened had 10. And I know it's supposed to be 3 dice for the winner, 3 dice for the runner-up, and then 3 for the judge. So there's an extra. So if it's me and my friend judging, we each get 2 dice. That's easy. Yeah. That's easy, and that doesn't bother me at all. Like
it's I think I'm used to make out, but I think it is kind of a bummer because it's like
I'll have to learn Spanish.
You don't have to. We all know what these cards do.
I know.
I know, but
most importantly, Chewie has a red defense die. Most importantly,
in Spanish.
I will with my Adepticon 2018 Han Solo with red defense dice.
Oh, the dream! Rebels are playable again, baby.
Heard it here first.
But it is a bummer. But like it's weird that like so that push. If we want to get into it, like there's an
that push is going to be there's going to be a huge market for that push card.
Like
yeah.
So even if you get one and you're like, oh man, it's pushed, like that thing now has a value because it is extremely limited.
Yeah,
I want one just for my loot goblin binder. That binder's like my like if God forbid I ever need an expensive surgery for my dog or something, I'm just opening it up and be like, I've got Palpatine from High Command. What are we asking for? We're starting at $200. $200. Palpatine High Command. Like you could take that card and like I don't like the aftermarket. But it exists, and so and to not acknowledge it's silly. So like it's you could like turn that around. I'm just saying somebody could. Like there are collectors who might maybe offer you monetary gain for this guy over here.
No, I totally get that. It's just like it's such a weird choice. It should have been standing orders.
Oh,
like
yes,
I have 20 different standing orders now, thanks to like all arts from events. Like we had one at the boys. Like Ryan does them for all of his events, and he does like 4 for each one, which is awesome. And it's like now I have this like I have a whole page in my binder that's just standing orders, which is cool. Like I open it up, I look at it, it's like what standing orders am I using today? I wish it was a card I would use every time. Like, cause like it's fair. Like I mean, it's like now I'm gonna try and fit push into my deck so I can flex with that card.
Like
and it's like
judges used to get like counterspell, like they used to get like a good card that had the judge logo on it.
That's
because it was a double flex, right? It gets I was a judge. This card's rare, but it's a real card that you're gonna see on the table. It's not binder powder, right?
Yeah. So it's like I guess I just wish it was like a better card, and I wish that like there was just like an additional one of each card for the judges. That's because like it's like I also like I TO'd Imperial Assault years ago. Yes, I was one of the 17 people that played that game. I've said it before. And they used to basically include one of everything except for the trophy or the plaque, whatever it was, like for the judge. And like same thing with X-Wing. So it's like I guess like I liked it better then. That was better. Like I think this prize kit's great. Otherwise, like like these, I wish there weren't typos on these cards. Like that's really disappointing that like there are typos on 3 of these cards. It's so sad. Like otherwise, like I think they hit this out of the park for like a store level event kit. Like I think otherwise, like that's it. Like the art they chose on them are all really good. I can ignore that I just got a Saxon card at Worlds because I'll just take another Saxon card and try and make him work again. I don't know.
He's something. But what do you think, Keegan? You've been
Oh, you two have the energy around this. I'm excited that we've got OP back, and it's new OP stuff. It's the kickoff of the season. I think is aligned with May 4th, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. And I guess that'll be before our next episode.
I know. I'm excited. We're gonna what are they going to talk about?
Recording it.
Because they said there's going to be some kind of.
That's actually good. That's actually a good topic. So
let's do it.
What would you?
I had a better segue. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Take a segue.
Well, so what my thoughts on the OP kit are I think you made some great points, and I hope that our judges and our EOs feel more get more kind of value and walk away. And if you're an EO and you've got multiple judges and you want to do something special, in addition to the 6-Up Supply tournament kits, our featured 6-Up Supply product of the week, released a few months ago, but still out in the wild. Yeah, I told you. That's why I was quiet. I'll just let you talk. We've been working on this prototype for a while, and we all love line lasers, and we all love laser swords. And we finally figured out how to do this really, really well. So we've got, and I'll have a bigger picture up than the one I'm just holding. But the 6-Up Supply, I think we're calling it the PlasmaBlade line laser.
It looks small in his hand just because his hand is so big, guys. It's really
it's huge. Yeah, it's massive. A completely average lightsaber.
That's All right. It is this size in a normal size hand. A couple of great features I love about this is one, the just power of it. Let's see if I can get this going on the back wall like
sick.
that.
That's cool.
It's
Yeah,
I have had to in the darker rooms at the guild house where we play. Like it can, we have to kind of like on and off so that it doesn't blind me and wash out the.
Oh no, Keegan's lightsaber's gonna blind us.
Yeah. It's almost like Death Star energy. Big Death Star energy. Is that what
Big Star, that Kyber crystal though.
There it is. And then one of my favorite things is we were able to source lasers and then build this case around it that are
cool. Awesome.
it's USB rechargeable.
That's
so
really good.
no more battery swaps or battery starting to fade, and it's just the basic same as a lot of the phones that are out there. So I'll have that up there. And then one of the other things that this is first time seeing in the public, but coming out, and this actually I think would make a great like judge and staff thing is we're working on. I've got one in my hand, and I'll have some prototype images up here, but on the YouTube channel, if you're just listening on audio, I guess all of this works only if you're on YouTube. If you're listening on audio, but we're doing name badges that have the like magnetized hook on the back, and this is I think this is the clone model that Drake's working on. We've got a few different like Rebel and Imperial, and he's got this cool like Chandrilla style, and he's working on a Mando. But basically, we'll have these up for order in a little bit. And these are great for judges. It'll have have a feel for just like your Discord handle and your real name. So.
Strong magnet. You're saying I'll be able to put it like on my battle phone bag, like.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
No, like this magnet says green magnet caution magnetic device do not use with pacemaker. So.
Just disclaimer: we're not 6 Up Supply does not encourage you killing people with pacemakers.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. If your judges have pacemakers, not a good gift. Or give them a line laser.
Do not give them that. Give them a line laser.
That's actually something I'm shocked has taken this long to like materialize, because people do jerseys like I do jerseys, radical jersey, I got my 5th Trooper jersey, but like a lot of people don't, and they're expensive and they take months to get. But it's a good icebreaker because a lot of people I talk to on the Discord, I have no idea what their name is, and to be able to see like, like one of my favorite people to see at turns is Deco Puma. It's like, Deco Puma, or like see him know his name. It just makes it like it kind of breaks that like weird tension if you're just standing next to a stranger who you've probably talked to for a year now and you have no idea, right? Like it's those are really good. That's really cool product. Like didn't even think about it. That's like if it shocks me, then I'm in. Like awesome. Okay, let's go.
Awesome. So we'll have those up for pre-orders soon. Soon TM. So, Drake's hammering a bunch of them out. We got some really cool designs. And like I said, there's an image up on the YouTube channel while we're talking about this of the additional designs prototype designs that we're working on. So, and I'm going to Galaxy's Edge this week. I'm just going to do a solo work, not taking the kids. I wanted to experience it myself for the first time.
Hey.
I'll
get yourself a spot in the cantina.
I haven't gotten a spot in the cantina. I'm hoping that as an individual I'll be able to slip in. I planned this trip inside the 60-day reservation window so that they were all gone. But I did get a Savvy's workshop reservation.
So
nice.
that's a funny thing you said that. I've got them on my shelf somewhere over here. So my work on May 4th is doing Bring Your Own Lightsaber to Work Day, and they had the foam ones and inflatable ones, and I'm like, they aren't ready.
No.
For me to bring, like, this is Cal Kestis' saber. This is my personal one I made from Savvy.
Yep.
That's
absolutely.
Actually, speaking of that, Jedi Survivor comes out in a couple weeks.
It does.
It comes out on Friday.
This week. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So my plan is drive down to Anaheim on Wednesday, all day in Galaxy's Edge. I'm not doing any of the other Disney stuff. It's all Galaxy's Edge for me. Come back up on the weekend and spend the rest of the weekend playing Jedi Survivor.
That sounds like a really good weekend. Like straight up, like that's a top 5-star weekend.
Yeah. On the off chance I actually have an opportunity to interact with real people, I might do that for my own for healthy reasons. But no, right now that's the plan.
I'm not gonna one up you because I can't. I'm planning to go see Return of the Jedi next weekend in theaters.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
because
Yeah.
they're re-releasing it for the 30th anniversary, but it's not because the 30th anniversary is in May.
It's
but
like
it's
May
like
15th or something like that.
Yeah,
The
it's
20,
but it's in theaters next weekend, and it's in
Yeah.
one of the decent theaters near that's not too far from me. And
Yeah.
it's like I looked today because it's like they're all reserved seating now, or all the decent ones are.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I looked to see like how many seats were if there's like one single seat taken. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
geez.
I got time. I'll just buy a day off. Like I'll just roll up there like we used to do back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, wait in a line. That's
Yeah.
the true nostalgic experience.
I can't not see Star Wars in theaters. Like
Yeah.
I remember seeing the special editions, and like they were the special editions, but like I was like 10 probably, like 8.
It didn't really hit you. Yeah.
It didn't. I didn't appreciate the originals like a lot of other people did. So like it's just getting to see them in theaters. Like my dad took me to see all of them. I was like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. Because like I liked Star Wars before that, and it was like I get to go see Star Wars. So it's like it's like I gotta go see it. I gotta go.
Absolutely.
I gotta do it. Yep.
The special editions in theater. I would think I was in high school when those came, and it was amazing.
That makes sense.
It was awesome.
I plan on taking a personal day Friday.
I'm just taking the whole week.
That's good. That's good because I really like if I don't take the day off. It sounds silly to do it for a video game, and like I get it, but like
no, it's not.
Oh, I have 100% done that. I did that when I was in the military, and like a Modern Warfare came out, and I was like, I'm taking this day off, and I was like, they're like, well, there's a lot of requests for this day off. I was like, yep.
If I don't take the day off, I won't get to play it. Like it's just how my schedule works. I'll get to put in like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour later, but like I need the time to go like.
Oh yeah, you want to get into it. Yeah.
Not paint a model, not do a podcast. Right? Just, I've got like dude.
No podcast for Evan next weekend, guys.
Well, it's not even that.
It's why he's getting them all in this week.
There's piles on my floor. There's Dead Zone I need to build and paint. There's I always say there's Conquest to build and paint.
Oh yeah.
Stuff I got to build and paint. Like I just like my rotation of I paint on my lunches. I build stuff on my lunch. Like my 24-hour cycle is just this. So if I don't like just brick it out, then it'll just never happen. I'll just find a work experience.
I don't play a lot of video games anymore. Like I spend most of my free time like hobbying and doing that stuff and playing Legion, but it's like I'm definitely like setting aside the weekend. Like I'm off, so like I will have extra time. So it's like I'm not painting anything. Like we're just gonna play Jedi Survivor. It's gonna be great. And see Return of the Jedi.
Awesome.
That's it.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
And, I'm excited.
All right, should we wrap with our new segment?
Yeah. So I've been thinking, like pretty much since Worlds, like there were just a lot of underrepresented units at Worlds, and I had decided like after Worlds I was gonna like pick up something I hadn't really played a lot of, and like so I decided it was gonna be Shadow Collective Mandalorians because like Mandalorians are cool. I know. And it's like, man, the models are really cool. And that's like, so a lot of it for me is like, the model's really cool. Yeah. So like the idea behind the unit is really cool. And like, I know that like they have a really good save, but like there's a blank on there are 2 blanks on every one of those dice.
Sure is.
So yeah. But like, so like I spent the, a couple weeks ago painting up Mandalorians, put together some like weird 8-act like quad Mandalorian list with Gar Saxon and maybe an AA5 here and there. And it didn't go great. It didn't go like horrible. Like the people I lost to are not bad players, but it's like I lost two really close games to Mike, and he was playing Yoda, and we were both playing 8-act, so that was cool. The parody was nice.
Yeah.
But like the Mando rockets, the Mando rockets and the shields feel like the most auto include upgrades on a unit that aren't auto include. Like, and there's it's 18 points.
Yep.
And then you're not taking only 3 models. You're probably taking the marksman or the gunslinger.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at like 120 points. So it's like, well, I might as well add this emergency transponder and this offensive push here because like, definitely like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just go all in. And it's like those first couple rounds, like these guys are great. Like they hit really hard. They've got multiple aims. They've got these rockets and like their rockets are busted now. So, and like, saying they're busted, it's like in a vacuum. Like obviously they are not busted because they are attached to Mandalorian super commandos who are too expensive. Like they are good in the right hands. They are too expensive. Like
it's the same reason we don't hear about how busted Jin's rifle is anymore.
But like
that's a sad story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like I've got like this 133 point unit, and it like it hits really hard a couple rounds, and it's got some extra defensive tricks because it's got like a couple shields and a dodge, and then but once you get through all that, it's just saves and they die. Yeah. And guess what? When a dark trooper chucks 10 dice at you with no cover, you're gonna die.
So I ended up bringing Rebels to Worlds, but I was actually going to bring Gar Saxon Mandos to Worlds. I've done a lot of practice. I went to Du Bois with it.
Yep.
I was 100% committed to doing it, and then I went to the Du Bois, and I got destroyed. And it's like Gar Saxon and 2 Mandos should be good, and the problem is they're like B, they're like a B unit.
Yeah, but they cost
maybe B, C minus, maybe like so the Alpha Strike's good. Gar Saxon does some fun things. He himself doesn't really know what he does.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
He's like, you take the rifle, then you're only removing one model, maybe, and that's a lot of points to just a strike team could be doing that. He like his other cards are okay, but then you gotta get close, and if you're close, like Anakin will come beat me up. Like they just don't know what they do, and then you're like, okay, well, so when I was playing the list, it'd be like Gar Saxon, 2 Mandos decked out, and then I had like a bus with Black Suns and then Pikes. Pikes did all the work. Like I do the Alpha Strike, and then the Mandos would try to get to range 2 to give you the good pistol blast, but then you're like, they're still 50-50, and you're like, after cover, you're like 2. You just got like a mid roll, like an average roll, which I'm not upset about. I hit 4 hits. That's good out of 8 black dice.
But you're
and then 2, and then they're like, okay, well, I either I spin a dodge or I grab a clone thing or I'm rebel. There's all those tricks they have to get out of that. Then you get shot back, and that's the scariest thing in the world with Mandos. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, you're like, I gotta roll saves. Here's 5 defense dice. I better roll 4 paid, or I'm gonna be really sad.
And you always seems like out of 4, you're gonna roll blank. Right, out of 4, you're at least gonna roll blank, and so you lose one. And as soon as you lose one, they just become terrible. Like
the scariest rolls, because like they have a good save, and if you roll 1 or 2 dice, you might save it all. Like you have a chance, like a decent chance. But like the more dice you roll, and when you roll 4, that's the scariest spot to be in, because like, well, I should block somewhere between 2 and 3, so hopefully it's 3 and not 2, but it's 2. Oh no, wait, I lied. It's actually 1, and now your whole squad's dead.
Yep,
so eat shit.
I've rolled a 4 hit blank out.
Yeah, and like
I was just like, man, you win, I guess. I don't know. Like it was like from like a naked rebel shot them out in the open. I thought I was safe. He'll get like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
He got 4. I rolled 4 blanks. So I'm like, ooh. It's like that's a 40-point unit just wiping out like 120 in a shot. It's like this shouldn't be like this, but sometimes it just be like that.
In one of the games with Mike, like he legitimately he legitimately killed a whole squad round 1 because I had to activate it and I double moved it, and like I didn't forget what Yoda's capable of, but like it's like I forgot what Yoda's capable of. And like he's like, he hits bursts of speed, and I didn't think he would do that, and he did. And it's like, oh, he's like, I'm gonna double move Yoda, and now I'm gonna force push these guys out. And these guys had a standby just because like they activated first and they moved and have a standby. So they shoot. Oh, well, I have shields and dodge, so like I don't take anything. That's great. And but then he like, he tells Echo to shoot now with guidance or something, or he told Echo to stand by or whatever, and Echo shoots, and it's like, now that one really hurt because he has sharpshooter and Pierce.
Yeah.
So it's like, he kills the squad round 1. It's like, well, it's not over yet. I still have this nice bus here who can backworld medic something, right? No. No. But yeah, it's like once you get through those like the initial defensive tech, and like and the rocket shot is like chef's kiss. It's so good. It's like if you get it at like range 2 or 3, it's like you get the marksman and you get all these dice, and like you get to reroll with your aims. And like if you're like me, it's like you have 2 aims here because you either like offensive pushed or transpondered, or they got an aim from the command card or whatever. And like the command cards that like in an army with just Saxon and Mandos, the command cards you're taking support the Mandos really well.
Yep.
Both of Gar's 2 and 3 pip, they each give out 3 orders, and they each get outmaneuver. Each Mando gets outmaneuver, and one of them gives them a dodge, one of them gives them an aim. It's really good. And then the mercenary generics, like the 2 and the 3, give out aims if you don't give out orders, or they give out dodges if you do. And you can double up. So like you can still order a unit and get them to dodge from discretion, like, which is excellent. But after they run out of those tricks, they're done.
Yeah.
Like they're just Mandos. They're just like Rebel Mandos that are also really expensive. They're just a little cheaper.
Yeah.
But they're also not as good. It just stinks. It's like, I really like, and like you said about Saxon, he doesn't really know what he wants to do. His weapons are too expensive. Like I was talking with my buddy who only plays Shadow Collective today. We were texting about it, and he was saying like, he was talking about how like he shot his Gar's rocket into the Dark Troopers and they just blocked because it doesn't have Pierce or anything. It's like, well, and it's like at that point, like I feel like you just want to get in a range 2 and shoot with your pistol because you surge to crit and you roll 4 dice. So you probably get a crit. You might get 2 if you have an aim, like, and then you have Pierce and you're guaranteeing wounds. It's probably better than that rocket that's 10 points and has cycle and exhausts, but like Gar can't recover. Like you can't afford a recover action in there.
He's really action hungry. And the problem is
I like the design of his shield a lot though.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Like the idea that it basically cycles is really cool. Yeah. Like,
what are your thoughts, Keegan? Before I start rating about this more,
I don't have a ton of experience. I don't have any experience playing these things. I haven't managed to assemble
That's fair.
any of them. When I hear y'all talk about Gar and Mandos, though, all that old Keegan trigger starts happening of this is
when I used to like
my old Jin Pathfinder
stuff, the original hipster.
It's like when you say even Gar doesn't know what he's supposed to do, I'm like, ooh, well, that's a Keegan problem to solve.
Oh, dude, that's why Keegan, we're cut from the same cloth in a few ways. That's why I did it, and I'm like, I want to win.
Yeah, we're cut from the same cloth. You just win doing it, and I don't.
I just get like extremely lucky. You forgot that the bus hadn't gone yet. That's all it really is. That's all. I 100% like. It's like it's tough because like, okay, let's look at his stuff. Like let's look at Gar, because Gar for clocks in at 105. That's reasonable, right? For
I think so. For a Mando, he's a Mando.
Yeah.
He's got a decent gun, sharpshooter 1. Yeah. Compel is great. It's interesting in the army, and we can talk about that a little bit.
2 allies of convenience, Compel, Impervious, Sharpshooter 1, even 2 red melee. Okay,
it's like not terrible.
Not sure. If Tenacity was back to 4 instead of 6, maybe it's just like I guess, I don't know.
And he has like all of the upgrade slots. Like they ran out of room.
Yeah, they actually did. So surge to crit, defense, 3 speed. Like, it's strange because if I took that in any other faction, I'm like, this is like an S tier unit. But in like Shadow, you're just like, okay, well, you don't like range 2 is such a danger zone now. It's like, you're probably going to get beat up by a better unit like an Anakin, Luke, even Grievous. Like the one time Grievous is like going to bully you, which is wild. He kind of does. Like, and so then you look at his guns. Then you've got the high velocity rifle. So I'm kind of upset it's not just 1 to 5. Just
he's not ever going to have 2 aims unless he like.
Yeah, it's very
well. I guess he plays his one. He plays his command cards. He gets aims. Like 2 of the command. His 1 pip gives him aims. Yeah, which is like
it's okay.
It's strapping electro binoculars onto pikes.
His 1 pip's really good unless you overthink it. When you overthink it, it's like
I just want that guy to die, right? Like
I shot at a Gideon that had 2 wounds on him, and I played Gar's 1 pip, and I'm like, I'm gonna just try and kill Gideon here. So I throw the
Yeah.
observation tokens on him, and then I'm like, I'm gonna activate a Mando instead because the Mandos roll more dice. They don't have Pierce, but they roll more dice, and I'm like, oh. All right, we get 6 in. He's got heavy cover. It's 4, and he blocks all 4. And I probably should have just used Gar, who has sharpshooter, and gets him out of cover, and surges to crit and has Pierce, and probably kills him. But I overthought it because that's what you do.
No, that's fair.
And it's...
but the rifle's like, so it's a rainbow, and so the white's probably not hitting. So you're after heavy cover, you're looking at 1. Probably this is a average. Like
I agree with you.
No, spot 100%. That's how I think of rainbows.
So it's like. Lethal, okay, got to spend a name to make it Pierce. Long shot, got to spend a name to get range 5 to even fight back at a sniper. And he's a hero. Like, to me, like, heroes get out of jail free, I'm an infinite range sniper card, right? Like, so I was a little bummed about that. But that's okay. Like, but it's like you're paying 120 points to remove 1 model or deal 1 damage.
And like,
that just doesn't
I feel
good.
like if you're going all in on like Saxon with the rifle, he probably needs either hunter or offensive push. Maybe both. Emergency transponder's good. If you think he might be in your bag, get you an aim. The good thing is you're probably not taking the shield if you're doing save 10 points there. But it's like, it's weird. The long shot, I think the long shot is the weirdest part. I'm okay with lethal. I'm okay with having to pay for
like
Pierce.
Lethal is like a more fair Pierce. And so the jet backpack, I think, is the real money. If you're gonna take one, 2 to 3, 3 red, blast, cycle, impact 2, in a world that we're not oppressed by a unit, mostly that's pretty good. Like you could fight a tank. A tank should be like, oh crap, Gar Saxon's over there. I should probably like try to kill him. Or like
my problem with the jetpack rockets is the range band.
It's very strange.
2
it's
to
like
3.
In
most cases, you're going to rather at range 2 shoot your pistol because you surge to crit and it's more dice. Unless you're strictly shooting at like an armor piece, like
a ATRT or something.
An ATRT or a T-47 or something like that. That is like, but I mean,
it's a
weird range band.
Okay, 10 points. Okay, then his flame projector is actually very well costed. 5 points.
I like the flame projector a lot.
Blast spray suppressive, a black and a white, 1 to melee. So you can, if someone jumps to you melee like a B1s just to hold you back, you're gonna kill them. Probably wipe them. Like in a reasonable shot. So like all that kit, it sounds good. Oh, he's got a shield that's specific to him.
And the shield's good.
Gar Saxon shield, shielded recharge. It's like all the stuff's okay. It's just like I guess the real problem is like the other stuff in Shadow is just so good, and you get it when you buy the core set. You don't even have to go out of your way to get it. It's like Maul, and you get a Rook Cast. So Maul Rook Cast is good little combo. Maul Pikes
I played that
in there.
When it first
Black
came out
Sun's in there. Like you have to go out of your way. You have to buy an extra expansion to get him.
I think you're better off.
What does he add to your army?
Yeah, it's like he supports Mandos well, but like they're too expensive.
Yeah, it's
they're really good at objectives. Like they are so good at objectives, but they have to live.
That's
they have to live, and it's
little anything can kill them. Really, like anything that gets a decent hit. You're safe from like onesies, like a unit leader walking up and trying to kill them. Probably. Yeah. It's just like you look at. So, for example, Mando Super Commandos with marksman rifle, their shields, and the rocket is 123. Or could I offer you a pike soldier, pikes with a disruptor and a capo for 86? Which one lives longer? Like, it's crazy that I'm like, maybe probably the pikes, but like, it's, I don't know. It's like, I guess this is an interesting conversation we're having where it's like, hey, these guys are just like kind of mid, but then you look at like Rebel Mandos, like, no, they're bad. Like, they're just like, their heavy's a sword guy and they do not get charged or anything. It's just, all right, cool, I guess. Like, if we want to talk about a unit that's not played, Rebel Mandos are just,
and we talk like it's like now that like we're seeing like Ahsoka's coming out and the pairing with Sabine is really good. So you're looking at Clan Ren as like that third piece, but they're so expensive. They're so expensive, and they're not even with Sabine. They're not really worth that cost. Getting a free token every round, like you get like with the single Mando like that, you get play on like bombing run and things like that. Like legitimately, like Ahsoka, Sabine, and Clan Ren, you can probably play bombing run, but like the rest of your army behind you is so thin. Like and like it's not quite enough punch where like sometimes an army that has like just like two really strong offensive units and then like a third that's like, you know, pretty good. It's like the rest of the shit behind you can just be junk. Like, 3 rebel troopers, 3 snipers. Let's go. Like, y'all put the game on your back and we'll hang out back here and like maybe shoot at something once in a while.
Be in the way
and hit the buttons. Like, we'll stay far out of your way. We'll take these 2 safe boxes while you go and charge the center and fight over the middle box. But they're just so expensive. Like, I really hope that like if they do this points rebalance or whatever, that like all of these Mandos need to come down in cost, because like we want to see them on the table. Like there's a whole
everyone wants
freaking show about Mandalorians.
You know, Mandalorians.
There's a whole
right?
show about Mandalorians.
It's just kind of a bummer. It's like I'm sure they'll get addressed because, to be fair, to AMG, they do. If you look at like MCP, their side game, like it's pretty good. Like besides like a couple like odds and ends every once in a while, they even released like the whole card pack. They redid a bunch of characters and redid a lot of cards. So I think that they have a good head on their shoulders. I don't know what happened with Dark Troopers, but and anything else. But
I think Jay said it on Scoundrels not recently about how like all of like the characters that AMG have released like have been fine. Like they've been like they're fun. Yeah. Like they're not like crazy, and then Dark Troopers just like
there's just this weird outlier. Like I think it was an experiment that just didn't quite pay out right. But like I'm in for like, because you can fix the Battle Force thing with like a free PDF. You're like, here you go. Sorry, no more bikes, or maybe 3 bikes or something.
No more Operative Vader.
It's just like they don't have to reprint cards. You know, just like here you go. Sorry, this is. So I don't think they're in a spot that makes them unfixable. Anything could really be fixed with points. That's the whole like reason. It's just kind of a bummer that like if you really stand Mandos, and especially if you liked Gar Saxon and Mando Super Commandos, like that's a cool thing for you. Yeah, you're just gonna be kind of like you'll go like 2-2, like I did with them. Like you just don't think that they're gonna like you can't.
You're gonna get You're gonna get blue players. You're gonna get You're going to get blue player once in a tournament, and you're going to get like an objective that really suits them better than like something else. And you're going to be able to like, just like,
and you'll
run these bombs.
So then you're going to be chasing that dragon for the rest of your time playing it, just like I did.
You're going to remember that one time, like, hey, I got on his VAP turn 1. But then you realize you could have just done it better with Maul. Better call Maul.
I had one game playing Pathfinders where I Alpha Strike. I shot Bosk off the table the first action of the game in heavy cover with a Pathfinder Alpha Strike, and
that's the worst thing that could happen to you. Yeah,
it is, and that fueled me.
These guys are amazing.
Yeah, for a year and a half, I was playing Pathfinder Jin stuff for that time. This is pre-Cassian, of course. Too,
sure.
So. Chasing that dragon is a real thing.
It's like the worst part is like they're like borderline good. So it's like
they're powerful. If that Alpha Strike can like hit like 3 or 4 of those rockets, like they can decimate a whole chunk of army, and then you just now you're just so far up. If you targeted the right things, like you kill 2 or 3 units, like you're just so far up, your opponent can't really do anything as long as your saves hold like a little bit, and then you just play the objective. It's enough, but it's like when it's not. Like it took 4 sets of rockets to kill a squad of Dark Troopers, and I think Gar shot them once too. It's not like unreasonable. Like I got like the first 2 rocket shots were like, I think I rolled like 3 crits naturally. Like with aims and stuff. Yeah. I mean, you're re-rolling a lot. So it's like you're rolling 8 dice, and it's like you're re-rolling a bunch. Like, and it's like I'm including 2 rockets or something like that. So it's like I'm getting impact 2, critical 2, and then like I'm just hoping I get like some crits. But it's like I don't know.
Well, if you've played Mandalorian Super Commandos and Gar Saxon in a creative way, let us know.
For sure. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about all those games. I also played with like Maul and Asajj together a lot, and like that's just much more my speed.
Yeah.
It's just much more fun.
Nice.
But for now, putting the Mandos away.
Well, this is a cool segment. We'll bring another unit in next time. We'll see in 2 weeks what we feel like talking about.
People have suggestions,
who do you want to hear
shoot us
about?
DMs we'll like, if we don't pick you first, we'll get in another time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do 2 units at once. Who knows?
Rebel Mandos, do it.
We'll take one episode off for talking about Mandos.
We'll take a break.
And then
the guttural grunt.
We need to let people forget that they heard us talk about how they're just really expensive and they're easy to kill, because that's the same problem for real
AMG's just been deep trolling Gar players for a while now, right? Like releasing all they wanted was Ahsoka. Oh, Ahsoka's coming, but she's Rebel. And then even at Adepticon, they trolled at the presentation. They were like, "Oh, that's it, right? We don't have anything else to show." Because they hadn't showed anything for Republic yet, and then they teased the Bad Batch at the end, right? It's like maybe the whole thing is like maybe they're setting up for like the Night Owls from like Clone Wars season 7, and then that'll be the Mandos that fix all the other Mandos. There'll be some card like an X-Wing days that fixes the other Mandos, like some.
They are in Shatterpoint, I think.
Yeah. Night Owls.
Y'all get to see my facial reactions live. Well, not live, but recorded. But yeah.
Night Owls, Bo-Katan, and Gar Ahsoka all coming at once.
Yep. And a new Rex.
Yeah.
Yep. Make that a battle force. Do it. Another battle force with Mandos.
I'm here for it. All my clones are already painted that way.
I'll buy it. I'll buy everything.
Yeah.
I'll buy it. I'll buy everything. It's fine.
All right. Well, Evan, thank you for coming on. We're coming up at about an hour. Nick, did you have anything else to cover? I know I'm forcing us out.
No, man. That's it.
All right.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Evan, where can people find you? Which cast should they listen to get all Evan all week?
Okay, so the 5th Trooper comes out on Fridays. That's on the main channel.
Yep.
Everything's on the main channel. I know I said that, but 5th Trooper. Then I think Tuesdays is Sword and Board, which is the Onslaught.
Okay.
And then we live stream Wednesday for the 5th Tile, which is our anything goes board game.
I listened to the one right before you guys went to the MZB tournament. I enjoyed it, so I plan to keep.
It's actually the 5th Tile is my favorite because I don't we're not confined.
Yeah,
like anything when you're talking about Legion, you try to keep it. Even though I go in tangents, you try to keep it still Legion focused. But then Jay and I were talking so this is like a little bit of inside 5th Trooper knowledge that I'm dropping here. Like we're probably going to be doing Shatterpoint content. I don't know what that's going to look like.
Sure.
We'd like to. Jay's really smitten with MCP, so we do some battle reports of that. That might be coming. But yeah, there's just a lot coming. We'll be doing some more WizKid stuff because they've just announced a ton of stuff. Everything's got so much stuff. Like
everyone wants your money, man.
Yeah, it's for real. But I'm all over the 5th Trooper. I'm in Discords. Ping me. I do the same thing where I call out events now. So please ping either me or Keegan or Nick about your event. We'll give a shout out. I think that's important. We used to do that a long time ago, and then we got crazy then. But I think it's time for those to come back because the community is important. I wouldn't be playing this game anymore if it wasn't for the people who I get to see every time I play it. Because this could be anything. This could be a generic space game with Sax Garon, the super soldier space guy, and if Nick and Keegan ran an event, I'd go. I'd be like, got mine painted. Here we go. All right. Community is more important than the game to me, and so doing the shout outs and getting everyone together and having a good time is the key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we will see you all in a couple of weeks. If you are still listening and you're on audio, check us out. We're on YouTube if you want to see what we look like. solve that problem of not recognizing us at tournaments if that still happens. So, all right, I think that's it. Cue the music.
Ba 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 bum bum.
Yeah. whatever our music is.